Hit the like button, subscribe.
Defense wins championships, everybody.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's another Monday. That means it's another day for HAIRitage Sports Talk. I'm Rodney Legendary Brown. Just here to host, but it's never a show without the rest of my fellas. This is where we talk about everything on the outside. We talk about everything on the inside. We definitely talk about everything in the cut. We listen to the rumors, but guess what? We're here to speak the truth and talk the facts. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, like always, my right-hand man, my guy, Mr. Tony Harvey. Welcome to HAIRitage Sports Talk.
My guy, Rodney Legendary Brown. What's happening, man? Good morning to you. Salute, man. I'm glad to be back here with you. I hope everything's cool with health and family.
Yeah, everything's been good, man. How was that Thanksgiving?
Oh, man, I think I still got about another couple more plates to dig in, though. But it was great, though. A lot of food, man. A lot of food, man. Man, something to be thankful about, though. Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, he's never slow, but he's always on time, Mr. DSpeed.
DSpeed?
What's happening with the fellas, man?
What's happening with you?
Oh, my guy.
Monday. You know, shit, freshly back off of being filled with some turkey. You know, had a cool holiday season, but I'm reporting live from the mobile unit today.
So yeah, as I can see, you're not in the studio or one of your studios today and stuff. Okay.
We on the road today a little bit, but hey, it's good to see you fellas in there. RB and Tone. I can't wait for you to jump on.
All right. It's Speed's guy. It is Tone's guy. It's my guy. It's our guy. It's our guy. Mr. EL, Mr. Elijah Lewis. HAIRitage Sports Talk. What's up, EL? Wait, where Elijah? He ain't coming on? There you go.
There he is.
Here. I ain't going nowhere. Just like I ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Elijah, can you see me now? Can you see me? Can you see me?
No, y'all be hanging him.
What hoodie you got on today? Elijah, what hoodie you got on today, man? Bulldogs?
We got the Fresno State, baby.
Yeah.
Fresno
right on.
State, ranked number 29 now. They made the AP poll.
Okay.
Yep. But I want to let everybody know today is a special day, especially in Sacramento. Today is what we call Museum Sunday. They're celebrating it on Monday. So if you are at any of our local independent museums, such as the Capitol or Mosaic or the Railroad Museum, please visit the gift shops. They are having very good specials. And one of my favorite hats that you guys see me wear, but I'm showing off my fresh cut today. But the hat that you guys always see me wear that has the California poppies is 45% off. So go ahead and see them at the basement of the state capitol.
Okay. Dope. Well, appreciate that. That's some information for you guys that if you're visiting Sacramento, even if you live in Sacramento, stop by there. It's definitely a good thing.
As always. The basement, the state capitol. Remember that. I got to get down there, though, Elijah. I really do.
Cindy says she wants to see you down there, Tony. She gonna be on there on Thursday and Friday this week.
Okay. Well, tell her keep looking out for me because I am gonna make a trip down there and purchase me a couple things too as well.
Yeah.
The way you said
Helena will be there too.
I will. Seriously, thanks for sharing that with us, though.
Go ahead, Speed. What's up?
I know Speed. I knew Speed. Go ahead.
The way Tone said that, it was like, yeah, tell her to keep looking out for me. I
Hey, Elijah, know I'm in and out of the state capitol, man. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, well, today we got a special guest today. I definitely want to give some love to this kid, man. He's freshly doing HAIRitage Barbershop. Not only that, but he's got his own words and he's got his own way of doing his own thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome our fellow newest to the team on the HAIRitage Barbershop and whatnot, and coming on here today and putting up with our bull, Mr. we call him Lex the Barber. Lex, what's up with you, bro?
What's happening, Lex?
What's happening with y'all, man?
All right.
Fellas, how y'all
Appreciate to have you on the show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. Most definitely appreciate you being on
Lex,
here. Appreciate the invite.
Do a quick introduction to who you are, man, and what it is that you do, real quick.
I'm a barber. Recently joined HAIRitage Barbershop. Appreciate the opportunity. Some good fellas to be around, positive influences, and I'm just ready to take it to the top.
Yes, sir. All right. Y'all ready, man? Y'all ready?
Right on. Let's take it to the top.
Let's take it to the top. Let's start off. Now that we know the Lakers been on a roll, man. Lakers, they on the streak right now. They've been doing it. LeBron didn't play last night, but they got a win also. But we do know this. In the Emirates Cup quarterfinals, the Lakers will face the Spurs. How are you guys feeling about the Spurs? They've been playing pretty good without Wendy. Not too bad. Fox kind of took over when he came back. But also, how do we feel about the Lakers? They got a three-head monster out there with Luka, AR, and your boy LeBron.
Man, I'm going to get started on that. I watched that game, that Cup game, the one with them and the Clippers. It was like at the end of the first quarter, something like 60-something, 62. And they were shooting the lights out. I don't know what was going on. That team is to be reckoned with. Like I said before, again, I think they can come after the Thunder's heads, and I don't think nobody. I think the Lakers may win the NBA Cup.
Well, they're not the number 2 seed for nothing. They have been playing really good ball in this, so this quarterfinal against the San Antonio Spurs should be a doozy because that's the way the NBA has lined it up, though. But I totally agree with Elijah has said. But, I think we had mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, though, fellas, when we were talking about the Lakers and stuff, that, that they could make a move, and they are making a move right now. I know it's still early in the season, but they can do it with LeBron and they can do it without him. And I think that's what's really, gelling them together where, their performances, hitting another level. On the other side, though, with San Antonio, and, what De'Aaron Fox is doing since he came back in, Wemby's been in and out the lineup too, as well. We're going to really see a really good match in that quarterfinal game between these ball clubs.
I believe so.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, I'm going to answer in my Charles Barkley voice since you're talking about basketball.
You go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, man. I heard this in a while.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. About see, the Lakers, team and LeBron James and what the boy named Luka, that is a phenomenal team. When you put together and they're running like that, it go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm talking about? So if you let me
What the boy name? What the boy named Luka?
What's the boy name? What's the boy name?
Listen. Let me tell you something. The boy with the armor is the bad boy. 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet. The boy bad. Okay, you take the boy that Aaron Fox came from Sacramento. Sacramento didn't know how to treat him. He gone. That's Fox wiping that. You got to look at the game. You got to look at the game. Listen. Let me tell you something. The Los Angeles Lakers, they are going to be the next team to take it to the top. I call Magic tomorrow and tell them to say
Magic tomorrow.
That's a great impersonation, man. You got him down to the T. Man.
crowd come over there and try to take off on me. Like, hey, bro.
Man, if you would just, put a blank screen up there and you was talking like that, I promise you, everybody would think that was Charles Barkley, man. I promise you they would.
Sound just like it.
Word for word, letter for letter.
Real talk, though. I do believe the Lakers got what it takes because they're showing you they can do it with and without LeBron. Like those games that LeBron's been sitting down, the Lakers still didn't disappoint with their ability to play. And AR-15 been going off. So if they keep this momentum, and then with LeBron, you can't count him out off top. That's one player on any team you can never count on. He's always going to be a factor. And the fact that him on the court and off the court is not stopping their momentum as a team, that's a dangerous combination. I look for them to take over the cup. I look for them to make more moves postseason too.
Yes. Oh yeah, right. That game will be played on December 10th in Los Angeles between San Antonio Spurs and the Lakers in the quarterfinals of the Cup.
The Spurs and the Lakers are kind of like similar to each other though too. They both have a supporting cast, especially when it comes to having a bench. Like, you know what I mean? So they got a five starting. They got a starting five. And then they got a bench that can, they got players that can come off the bench and actually produce. So that's gonna be detrimental for them going through the season. You know what I mean?
I was trying to tell them the same thing, but they didn't want to listen to me when I tried to tell them. And it's just like to go together, like I said, peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my goodness!
Hey Charles,
peanut butter
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm loving
it. Man, you got a problem, bro. let's
that every day, bro.
I got a couple of things. I'm gonna introduce somebody, but they're not on the show or anything like that. But I just want to bring up something real quick. SIA Collective. Does anybody know who is the owner of that particular SIA Collective?
DSpeed does.
You on mute, bro?
Nope.
Rodney, you on mute.
I know you guys are in location here at HAIRitage right now. I just had somebody walk through, and pretty much the person that asked me to ask this question. So the SIA Collective, I'll call it. It's a luxury sneaker and fashion brand that was founded in 2019. It's a designer and entrepreneur built the company into a multi-million-dollar brand based on high-quality footwear, manufactured costly, mostly in China, but it's also factored in Pakistan. So the owner of this company, his name is Devlin Carter. And for those that know the name Devlin Carter, he is a big supporter and a season ticket holder who pays upward $200,000 a year for his season tickets. Now, I'm going to jump into something real quick, and I'm going to let this video play of Zach Lavine and the interaction between him and Mr. Devlin Carter. Mr. Marichal, could you put that video up real quick?
But basically what happened is, after not one, not two, not three, not four, but after the sixth time, Zach Lavine leaves his man wide open for a three. Doug Christie calls the timeout. They come over to the bench. I say, yo, we don't pay to watch you not play defense. And Zach Lavine looks at me and says, then go home. I see people saying he called me a bitch. He did not call me a bitch. He said, because if he did, it would have been way worse than what y'all saw. But he didn't do that. So I'm not going to put that on him, right? But he said, then go home, take your ass home. Nigga. So I started letting him have it. I was like, no, I pay to be here. You go home. You getting paid over $40 million. You only got 8 points, and we in the fourth quarter. You didn't show up. Once again, you didn't show up. All these fans in Sacramento, they deserve better than that. This is one of the dopest and best fan bases. I'm not even from Sacramento. I'm from Brooklyn. I went to one Kings game. The arena, the staff, everybody was so dope. They hit me up and said, you want to be a season ticket holder? And I said, yup. And I got to watch Fox. I got to make the playoffs. I got to watch Coach Brown. All of that stuff from Doug coming up from Sacramento legend and being a coach, all of that stuff. I come to every game. I drive an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. So that's 3 hours of my day that I come to watch you guys play. I cheer as loud as possible. I cheer till my voice is hoarse for this team. So to have a player that we say, we don't come here to watch you not play defense, get a attitude and tell a fan then go home. No, you go home and find your game. How about that? Go home and find a game that you left there because you're not bringing it to the arena. And that's all this is about. The last game before that, we watched y'all fight back and win in overtime against the Timberwolves. To come back to this game and see you put no effort. That's all the fans want is effort. Sacramento Kings have some of the best fans. They have the best, some of the best, if not the best, people that work in that arena. From the security at the metal detectors when we come in courtside parking, all of those ladies and gentlemen are super sweetheart. And that's why I come to the game. Because I know we losing games, but it's the people that you get to be around. Right? Me and my wife connect with a lot of the employees there.
So I 100% agree with my man. And sometimes I believe that when it comes to players, you're people too. So Zach got in his feelings and he answered, which he probably shouldn't answer because he's 100% correct. We've seen you guys fight for a couple of games, but at the same time, we've also turned around and watched you not do your job. So how do you guys feel about that, man? I think a lot more goes to the players.
He was actually correct. You know what I mean? I totally 100% agree with him. I feel like, you know, the thing nowadays with sports, when it comes to paying these players millions of dollars, they take plays off. And we spend money to go watch them, and it's coming out of our pocket. So, I mean, he got every right to feel how you feel. If you're not out there putting 100% in, then why are you out there? Get somebody else that's out there with a low-paying salary that's hungry, that's going to go out there and play 4 quarters and give you what you're looking for, opposed to giving an attitude about being told to be playing defense. Nah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
What you think? What you think?
I don't get it either. But you know, like Lex and DSpeed had mentioned, Fan was 100% right. I have to agree with him in that manner. And y'all know I done seen a lot of games, and I done seen a lot of Zach Lavine this season. And plus, you know, last night before we went on the air, I almost seen a repeat performance of how he had described, and I'm talking about Devlin Carter, how he had described, you know, those defensive sequences. Because in the game against the Memphis Grizzlies, Zach was assigned to the opposing player for the Grizzlies, Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer came off the bench and he hit 2 quick threes. Doug Christie, the head coach of the Sacramento Kings, he had to call a timeout to get Zach out the game because he knew it was about to be another repeat performance in that sequence, okay? And Zach didn't get back in for a period of time because at that time, you know, the younger players in there, including Malik Monk, brought the Kings back. They were down, you know, by a significant amount, and they went on a 14-2 run, and they ended the first quarter, the Kings ahead 35-31. And then we seeing all this other stuff that's going on here. And I told you about the plus and minuses with Zach. 30 for the game. So that's like he's giving up 30 points a game when he's on the floor. So I'm not, you know, just seeing how this whole thing folded. And thanks for showing that clip, Marichelle. I'm not, you know, because fans and the players, they do interact, you know, infrequently sometimes, you know, throughout the game. But it just came to a boiling point that Devlin was like, look, I got to call this out. You know, I done spent all this money. I done drove all the way from the Bay, and I do this, you know, periodically. I'm going to have to tell you what's going on here. And when he said that, it resonated with other fans across the Sacramento region because they felt the same way too. Zach will be paid $47 million this season. He will get paid just under $50 million next season. And then that would be the end of his that contract. And I know he's looking for another contract, but he probably won't get it here in Sacramento because I know they're trying to move him as well, though. But hey, you know, but Zach said his piece too. There was an article that came out, you know, in the B, and you know, he doesn't really care. If somebody say something to him, he's going to bark back. And we do know these players will bark back, in some place. But it's just kind of, frustrating, for him and the fan. And this with type of things that happen, though. But I just hope it don't get it more exploited that it is here, because I think we're having a pretty decent, insightful conversation about what's going on with these players and fans.
Right.
What about you, Eli? How you feel, man?
Here's my thing. Just because I was in the information space, sports information space, I'm really partial to making sure that the players and the fans are separate. So to me, I'm a little bit different about that, and he shouldn't have been talking back at him and vice versa, because there's a situation going on and they're the team. So I look at it from both points of view. So it's not a really fair question for me, because I'm going to say Zach should have concentrated. That's point blank. That's what he gets paid to do, is concentrate and play the ball.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought that maybe Lavine, that kind of shows like you ain't paying attention to the game. You over here arguing with them and the game going on. So, when you are paid that much money and you're considered the star, one of the stars of the team, your job is to go out there and do everything that you can is to make sure that we look like we're competing. I think that bothers me. That's why he answered. A lot of times when people answer something, it bothers them because it hits a little bit of truth on their back end. Let's move on to the next one, you guys. Cooper Flag. He made NBA history by hitting 35 points or more as the youngest player in the NBA, beating one of the records that LeBron has set, one of the many records LeBron has set. Is Cooper Flag the future? Is he one of the futures? Because
he's the future is now for him, without a doubt. And I don't think anybody should be surprised. Cooper only like 18 years old. People don't understand that. He reclassified when he was in high school to join the Duke basketball team, a little bit early and stuff. So what he's doing right now, that's high level. That's high level stuff, Rodney, D, Lex, Elijah. This is just straight high level stuff that we see in here. Dallas should be of course, I don't know if it was luck or whatever, that they got him as the number one pick in the draft, but they are blessed to have this young man on their squad.
Yeah, I believe so. All right, we're going to move on, man. We're going to jump to this NFL real quick. When we talk about NFL, Tone, Chicago Bears, they jumped all over the Eagles. They made the Eagles look like they got their wings clipped and they can't even get out of their nest anymore. I wanted to tell a story about how Eagles, when they get older, 40 or 50 years, they have to fly to one of the highest points, if it's a mountain or something like that. And they go up there and they knock on a rock or something to knock that beak off. If they don't do that, what happens is they end up dying. Because the beak is so weak. But if they knock that beak off and have the patience and let that beak grow back, then they can live another 40 to 50 years. So I think that's where the Eagles are. Me personally, I think that's where the Eagles are at this point. You need to fly to the highest point, regroup, come back next year, because I don't think they'll be in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're not, but they're not as strong as they were last year because defense really carried them last year. It wasn't Jalen Hurts. It wasn't A.J. Brown. Saquon carried him, but I think he was so new to the team that other teams weren't able to adjust, but they had a whole offseason to adjust and watch film and take care of it. And it's kind of showing. What y'all think?
Yeah, they're in a really dark space right now. They lost to the Cowboys before that. And of course, they lost to my Bears. I wasn't really expecting this out of the Eagles, but I'm just seeing, some kinks in their armor. And I think a lot of that has to do with, the personnel and their character, their attitude. Because I'm not saying yes, I am saying that there is some little selfishness going on and some jealousy going on, especially since they won the Super Bowl. But they need to get all past that, to move on, because Chicago Bears came in there with a great plan. And that game was played in Philadelphia. You know, they held the ball. The Bears held the ball for about 39 minutes of the game. You know, it's 60 minutes in the NFL football game. They ran the ball with that Kyle Managay or like that. They had two, and Swift. They had two running backs that got 100+ yards. All right. So it seems like not only that, there seemed to be a blueprint of knowing how to keep the ball out of not only Jalen Hurts' hand, which I don't think they mind at all, but definitely keeping the football out of Saquon Barkley's hand. Okay, which can be a problem. I don't even think he ran over 70 yards. Maybe I don't even know if he ran over 60 yards. I got to go back and look at those stats though. But there is definitely some serious issues going on with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, definitely that. It does look like a bunch of individual play when we know that football is a team. It's a team sport. 11 men on the field for any given reason, just because it's individual play.
And we already know that you know with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and you know they want to see that football, because of what they say is, you know, when them receivers, when they run down the field, they get, you know, close away from the team and they don't see that football, they start acting funny. Yeah.
It's showing. It's definitely showing. Steelers, with Aaron Rodgers coming back, the great Aaron Rodgers. I know we all probably got our own complaints about Aaron Rodgers and the type of teammate he may be, but they get beat 7-26. They get beat by the Bills. The Bills look like they finally might be pulling something back, but they are playing the Steelers. Josh Allen also, he passes Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a QB in NFL history. He ended up, the last one he ran in the last game, he ended up with 76. Are the Steelers going to be an issue in the playoffs, or will they continue to play their role the way they play? Lex, I'm going to shoot that one to you, man. Steelers.
I honestly feel like they will be an issue in the playoffs. Being, you know, they have been struggling, and they haven't really been consistent, you know what I mean, on that side of the ball, as far as like, even with the defensive side. They got a lot of key players on defense, but it just seems like when you have so many good players and talent on one side of the ball, that it's kind of hard for them to mesh with each other.
Yeah. Elijah, you got any thoughts?
It's gonna be what's gonna be when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. That's just my opinion on him. I like to be quiet about him because I don't want to talk about him.
You were so reluctant to say this much about him too, Elijah.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He has been since day one. And you know what I think the funniest thing is? Ever since he left Green Bay, Love has been balling out. But they also said that Aaron didn't have too much, when you bring in a new cat, you kind of like, you want to mentor him. But they say Aaron didn't have nothing to do with that. But the same thing happened with him when Brett Favre was there when he got there.
It's the same way. Exactly. I guess he was trying to return the favor years later, because Brett knew when they brought in Rodgers, oh, you're bringing in my replacement. Okay. When they brought in Love, oh, you're bringing in my replacement. Rodgers felt that way and stuff. So it seemed like it just been a trickle down effect. But you hit it on the money though, Roddy. That has been the case, with those quarterbacks, at least in Green Bay. Like Elijah said, Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. But on the flip side of that too, the Buffalo Bills really needed that game after that performance against the Houston Texans, when Josh Allen got sacked, 8 times?
Yeah.
Okay. He had to come back on that one. Okay. So if it had to be at the expense of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, that had to be, because Buffalo at times looked like they'd be fading away as well and stuff. So they got the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers at the right time.
Yeah. You know what? I have something for Aaron Rodgers right here.
Why are you such an Aaron Rodgers hater though? I want to know that.
Elijah. I don't think it's appropriate for We're going to talk about sports. We're going to stick to sports.
He might be.
Well, you know I don't like you.
Seen him several times or something.
Yeah, let's talk about something else because
Exactly.
something gonna slip out. So speed, man. Our Niners ball. They've been balling, and I've been wanting to say this for a minute. So since it's our platform, I'm gonna say it real quick.
Come on.
The worst scenario for the NFL is for a team like the Niners to not be recognized as being contenders coming into this playoffs. We gonna make the playoffs. Either it be a wild card or we got an opportunity to snatch the highest of the NFC. So therefore, when you got a team like the Niners who have been hurt all season, no one's paying any attention to them, but they've been balling out without multiple starters because of them either being out for the whole year due to injury or them being out 4 to 5 games. We lost our quarterback for about 8 games, and we're sitting at 9-4. We're sitting at 9-4. The Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at 9-4. There's a bunch of teams sitting at 9-4, but for a team like the Niners to do what they did, and I hate to say this, but I'm glad they beat Cleveland the way they beat Cleveland. I'm glad Shador looked the way he looked, and Shador also had he had a good game. He didn't have a bad game. How do you feel about the Niners and what the Niners are doing and where we sit at when we come to the playoffs?
I know this is a family show, so I'm gonna watch the use of my words, but I feel like we're doing damn good. It's something about the coaching staff, and it's something about the players to where we all knew key pieces of your team were out. There was nothing that we could do about that. Accidents happen or injuries happen in this case. But for those players and those coaching staff to still develop a play, to develop a game plan, and for those players to execute it, that's something to be talked about that franchise as a whole. Now, yeah, Niners do a lot of stuff that has me raising my, and I'm still rocking with them. EL, I know you got your feelings on a lot of the Niners organization as a whole, but I love the fact that they're able to execute no matter what the adversity is. So if you want to talk about one of the most resilient teams in this season, you would have to throw the Niners name at the top of that hat, because not only have
I actually would see the Niners in the Super Bowl. I can see that. If this team keeps playing that, I think we might have a rematch of Niners and the Broncos. If everything lines up right, I can see that. The Niners are playing the best ball right now. I have to be fair on that, and that's just 100% right down the middle.
But you would pick the Broncos to show up there before New England?
I would pick the Broncos before New England.
Ooh.
Because remember, here's the reason why.
And the Broncos, the New England play tonight.
Yeah, but them prayers that Tim Tebow blessed that field with a couple years ago, all of a sudden they coming true. The man upstairs is helping them out.
Don't do it. See, I know you're going to have some fugazi answer, but Lex, I want to hear from you because, see, Lex is a fellow 49er just like Rod and I. So, hey, man, talk your mess, man. What you think of us? What do you think of us so far this year, man?
I think being though that we have been doubted by so many throughout this whole year, I feel like we have the best potential to reach in the Super Bowl, especially when we get players back that are healthy. We struggled for like 8 games, but we made a way for it to count. Then on top of that, you gotta look at it like we're gonna be a wild card team. The last wild card team that ever made the Super Bowl was the Buccaneers. That was 2021. So I feel like we on our way.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, hey, Marichelle, just to show how that game kind of went, we got a video of when our quarterback did it was kind of like a little fake handoff, and Purdy did the Purdy. We call It's called the Dougie, but Purdy did his thing on that one.
Show the video.
What? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know why? Cause all the bitches love it. Hey. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for you to back it up and dump it. Get it. Put your arms out front, lean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that Dougie ride. Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from Morningside. He go by Bubba and he hit that death like thunder.
So
That's a good video, man. I have to admit. He was busting on that. He was gigging on that. I got to give him credit for that.
That was greatness right there.
So
you know what? They didn't show. You know what? I'm glad they did, or glad he did. He hit the Dougie off top on rhythm and on point. But he did just enough of it. If he would have did just a little bit more, if he would have wound it back and hit it back the other way on top, and a couple of them people over there would have had something to say about it. But you could tell he ate somebody's soul food.
You must have. Hey, Elijah, what would you rank that on a scale from 1 to 10?
the Dougie.
I give him an 8, maybe a 9.
Okay.
But you know what,
Nah,
though?
you
It's Brock Purdy, man. I need him to do the Dougie when he's in his dad pants, you know, his khakis, and coming into the stadium. Then I give him a 10. Like,
Okay. Okay.
We can do that.
You hate
Some dark shades on and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump to some high school football real quick before we jump out of football. There's a high school. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a high school student, and you're gonna understand when I finish it. Out of Alabama, Cole Moody. He leads the nation in passing with over 5,000 yards. I want to say it's like 5,086 yards. He leads the nation. This kid is out of Alabama, and he leads the nation in passing in high school football with over 5,000 passing yards. His name is Cole Moody. I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but this high school player is an 8th grader. He's only 13 years old, playing at a high school level.
And he's on the market.
Huh?
Southside High School, Alabama. That's what it's saying right here. He is an 8th grader.
Turn up, man.
So, Kyle Moody's class year is 2030. Right now, the team he plays for is Southside varsity team down there in Alabama. My man is nationally ranked as #1. In Alabama, he's ranked at #1. In Division 3A, he's ranked #1. In 3A Region 3, he's ranked #1. In Alabama High School Athletic Association, he's ranked #1. I can keep going. Y'all want me to keep reading this?
I think we get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get. How do you?
I don't know, but this is a phenom. This is phenomenal. What this young man is doing. Wow, it's incredible. This kid is a straight up athlete, man. And I don't know what's going on with Alabama, man. They be putting out these type of athletes, man. I'm not saying, you know, they eating cornbread and beans and stuff like that, but shoot, man, there's something in the water down there. And I'm liking what I'm hearing about this young man too. He's an 8th grader doing this in high school. All right. Only thing it is, what worries me about these type of athletes is that I just hope they don't fan out too soon, you know, flat out too soon. Like, you know, basketball players like Raymond Lewis down there in LA, what he was doing back there. And then all of a sudden, you know, he get drafted and he never played one second in the NBA and stuff like that. You know, I just hope things like that don't happen to this young man, but so far so good. Also too, man, who's catching the ball for him? If he's throwing the ball like that, he must got some excellent receivers and running backs, you know, working with him.
Mm-hmm.
What's that say about his work ethic though, Tone? Like
A
what's
lot.
that say about his work ethic? At 13, you're playing your starting quarterback and already busting out all of these records and accomplishments at varsity level. And I feel like, bro, you gonna be it now. Obviously got to stick around 4 more years of high school, so you have the availability. God, forbid anything happening, really make your name at that market or in this sport at your age. That's on some, like, when I'm hearing the accomplishments, it's kind of like LeBron James when he was playing basketball.
Yes, right. Because he played basketball and football. You're right, D.
Yeah, that's the first assimilation that I got to it. Like the remarkable stuff he's doing on the basketball court, this young man is doing on the football field. And I think, for me, it's a whole different degree of talent because you're relying on other pieces to come into play. So it's a little bit more of a difficulty for him to accomplish that, but that's still a feat in and of itself. I know if I had them skills at that young age, boy, you couldn't be able to tell me nothing.
Nothing.
Man.
At all. Nothing at all. So
you're gonna be making a lot of money here soon.
When we get younger players like that, do you think it's too much pressure on them? Because everybody can't handle it like LeBron James.
Well, yeah, like I said, that's where I'm a little concerned about, them flatlining out there. Obviously, LeBron, look where he's at. He's a billionaire right now already and stuff. So we'll just see what happens here. At a young age, is the attention going to get to him? Are other teams going to be coming really hard at him and things like that? Then we'll know if he can handle the pressure or not, and especially off the field too, because that's where it's all going to start to. Because this cat could be a multi-millionaire before he even, sign his first national letter of intent to go anywhere in football and stuff. So it'd be pretty interesting to see, though. But that is that will be one of the concerns, though, Rodney, as far as whether he can handle the pressure or not.
How you feel about it, Lex?
I think it all depends on what type of supporting cast he got around him. You know what I mean? You got some parents that's just strictly about money, and you got some parents that kind of like want to push you to kind of like do the right thing. But if he got the right people in his corner, then I feel like it should be okay. Like, But as long as he don't get caught up in the hype, and usually when players get caught up in the hype, then that's when they skill level starts to decrease.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be very important that he keeps the right people around him, especially with that talent, because you also don't want the other side coming at you. You don't want them vultures and all of those people that's coming.
Yeah. He probably already got them right now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, he got them right now.
And it probably does have a good surrounding support system around him right now. Keeping all that stuff at bay, though. But the vultures are coming. They always going to be hovering around.
And mailbox full right now.
You got that South in you, that Alabama. They gonna make sure. They ain't gonna make sure that ain't nobody gonna sucker him. He ain't gonna get bamboozled. I would hope in this day and age, I would hope that he has enough people who understand the level of talent he has and where he can go.
Yeah.
But how
sports, I don't really buy into too much of what Sports Illustrated do these days because they've been having so many financial problems. But their headline is they calling him the 8th grade sensation. I have to agree with them on that part.
Definitely talented.
Hats off to him. But while we got a quick segment, until Rod jump back on, let's dive into the guests, TR, real quick.
Right on. Lex the Barber.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, start it off, D.
Lex the Barber, bro. Let's talk. Ooh, shoot, excuse me. Technical difficulty. Hit the speed bump. My bad. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk.
My bad. I'm going to a little rural area. So, Lex, real quick, tell us about who you are, man, and what got you into barbering. Like, why we got a second, real quick.
Man, basically, what got me into barbering was as a kid. I would say in junior high, man. I got tired of my dad giving me that kid and play, that bowl cut. You know what I'm saying? And so it was either a bald head or a bowl cut. So I was just like, man, can you give me some clippers? And he's like, yeah, if I get you some clippers, then you can cut your own hair. But you either go to school the way it is, or you go rock a bald head. So after a while, just cutting my own hair, and then I got kind of like used to it. So I was like, I'm kind of good at this. So I started cutting people in the neighborhood with one pair of clippers. Them clippers was hot though. They was hot. But that's how I really started like really finding my passion of like cutting hair.
You are from Sacramento, Lex, or what area from you?
I was born and raised in the city, San Francisco, and then we came out to Sacramento in '89. I went to junior high and high school out here.
Mm-hmm. And what other personal interests that you have, that's surrounding your barbershop skill career?
Oh, I cook. I love
cooking. Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about Top Chef style,
Okay. You cook for Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, I did. It's crazy because every holiday that's where everybody look forward to. I don't ever get a chance to really just sit back and go eat somebody else's food. It's always eat mine. You know what I mean?
Man, that's pretty interesting. Here we have a cook and a barber, folks. Here, like this is what I love about having these conversations and have great people on here like Lex and everything like that, man. So you feed any of your barbers, or you keep that from the side? Keep that on the side.
I mean, if they want to pull up, they can pull up. Hey, Speed tasting my food, and he definitely tasting the moisture too.
Oh, okay. You that type of chef.
Now,
right.
I will say,
gourmet.
TR, I'm not gonna hold you, TR. The man can burn. Now, for those of you who know me, they know, hey, bro, I'm blessed with these hands, but God didn't give me the blessings to get over that skillet and whip it.
So when you mean burn, you mean burning up stuff then, okay.
Okay, yeah, man. So you know what? But I can make reservations and pay the tab. Now I know where my strong point is. Now this man over here, this man can really cook. That's my brother, and we've been linking up a lot more often now. And a lot of that link up has been him. Hey, bro, I'm coming to taste whatever you cooking off top. But now, real quick though, another question for you. What made you decide? Like, when did you start taking barbering seriously and realize that it's important where you cut at? Like in the pursuit of you being the barber, your establishment played a part of that.
Honestly, I've always took barbering serious, but like as far as like as the years progressed, I didn't realize how serious it really was when it comes to location, services, and people that you deal with. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean by not necessarily people that you deal with, but I say it's like what type of clientele that you're trying to attract. Like, you know what I mean? So being able to put yourself in the right position, like, you know what I mean, I struggled for many years, like trying to figure that out. Like, you know what I mean? Because my head is like, I just didn't want to be a barber and be that one person that like everybody knows, like, oh, that's the local barber. Lex the barber, he's the local barber. He works here. He's been there for 30 plus years. Like, I didn't want to just be that particular barber because I know for a fact that with my skills and the things that I'm willing to accomplish, I can go way farther beyond that.
Hey, Lex, I got a question for you real quick on that issue. Since becoming a barber, and you've been one for a minute now, and you've been in a shop or two or whatever it may be, what has barbering showed you as far as when it comes to public, community, and just the part that it plays as being a barber outside of, like you said, of just being a barber? Like, what has it shown you on the professional side as well as the personal side where you must improve and where you must stay consistent in?
That part, now that right there, it showed me that you have to be more involved in your community.
Whoa.
Way more involved. It's not about just cutting hair. Like, you have to be involved, whether if it's giving free cuts, whether if it's, giving a helping hand. Like, it's not necessarily about like, okay, I'm the tightest barber. I can do these designs. I can do this. I can do that. But you have to literally relate to your community. And the thing about it is just like a lot of times we get so overlooked with just thinking like, okay, we trying to get here to the top, and so we forget about the most important things that's at the bottom, and those are the things that shave us like to where we are today, like as far as being the barber that we are, because when you surround yourself, you have to surround yourself with people that have the same mentality, and then on top of that, everything's gonna fall in place. But it all starts with being able to recognize that you have to start with your community first. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you said that. So my continuous question, and I'm done with this part of it, is how important is it when it comes to team compared to someone? It's okay to want to grow as individually because that's what it's all about, because you are a brand, because that person, that individual. But how important is that the team and where you are, that everyone's on the same page, and how much more it can be successful, not only as a team, but as individuals?
Location and shop is everything. That's bottom line, period, point blank. Your location and the shop that you are at is everything. Team wise, it's no I in team. You know what I mean? If you're part of a team, you consider yourself a team, you should be able to have a supporting cast around you that will support you, whether if you wrong or right. But at the end of the day is also give you the information and the tools that you need in order to succeed. It's not about like, okay, well, I want to try this adventure here, or I want to go, you know what, I want to do this, I want to do this beard butter, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I'm going to try to expand here. But you got one person a part of the team and say, hey, you know what, I don't think you'll be good at that, or I don't think you should do that. We should never be able to, we should never even put ourselves in a position to tell somebody that they can't do something. We should at least be like, okay, look, maybe it's not the right time, or let's find out the steps that we can take in order for us to get to there.
I like that.
Yeah, okay.
I got one last question for me, and then I want, before I ask this question, EL, do you got any questions?
No, I think actually I do have a quick one. What brought you to HAIRitage? I think that's a good question. That's the question right there.
I tell Speed this all the time. So, first of all, I want to thank the Brown brothers off top. You know what I mean? I've sat there and I watched them, the things that they do in the community and the people that they're involved with and the things that they do. And how they have people come in their shop, and it's like a camaraderie, like they're family, you know what I mean? And that's something that I've always wanted to be a part of as far as that. And this is no shade to any other shop that I've ever worked at, but at the same time, it's just I felt like me as who I am, I've outgrown a lot of certain situations. So coming in with them like with welcome arms and certain little things that they've asked me that I never even brought up is what draw my attention to want to come to HAIRitage Barbershop, because they were more attentive to needs that I needed, and I never even said anything about it.
Man, appreciate that. That's team. That's teamwork. You know, that's teamwork. And I can tell you, Lex, I haven't heard anything different when we talking about the Brown brothers too. So I'm glad you in a space, and you about to excel off of that too. I can feel that as well, because I see being around DSpeed and Rick Fame and what they do. Y'all inspire each other. So I can see that right now, though. That's good to hear from you, Lex. That's good to hear from you.
That. Yeah.
Now this one last question I'm gonna ask is not gonna be. I don't want you to give me your cookie cutter response, because I really want to get it to where you just gonna let go and just let loose on it. In this barbering industry, we see a lot of cats who are basically changing the narrative. And when I say that, meaning taking it outside of the community, not making it about being a part of the community, not making it about being a part of even your co-working space. So we see a lot of weirdness going on within our industry. What's one thing, and I'm gonna finish this part one, what's one thing in the industry that you feel like you've seen that you're fed up with?
I'm one thing I will tell you is I'm fed up with is the secret hate. You know, I feel like a lot of people will be like, I love you, you're my brother, we this and that and this and that. But the minute you try to elevate, it comes to a point to where like, oh, it's either I'm being disrespected or you're not meeting certain expectations. And, you know, it should never get to that point to where you feel like you have to put your situation on hold at the expense of somebody else because based on how they feel. Never.
Okay. And
it should never have to feel. You should never have to feel like that. Because at the end of the day, it's like we all grown men. Grown men are going to do what grown men do. And as long as you're doing it in a positive manner and you're respectful and there's no disrespect or no ill intent behind it, if you call yourself a friend or a brother, then you should be supporting that person 100%. No ifs, and buts about it. And like they say, it doesn't cost anything to support your people.
No, I don't.
Hey, a click, a like on Facebook, a like on Instagram, a share, or a post or anything that's more valuable than money.
I feel you on that one, bro. Showing love is free, and I thought we like free stuff. So I wholeheartedly feel you with that one. The last little piece of it, because I mean, you and I, our relationship, we have a lot of back alley conversations that a lot of these cats aren't going to be able to see when they see us live. But one of the things that I've grown to admire of you as a man is that you realized you took accountability for where you were and you realized where you wanted to be, and you weren't afraid to make those adjustments. And in some of those situations, I know because of our convos of how uncomfortable it feels, but you weren't afraid to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Where now in your career, of course, now with realigning yourself or with aligning yourself with the Brown brothers at HAIRitage, do you feel that confidence? Do you feel that like that shedding of the old and like walking into your new?
Honestly, these last 2 weeks being there, I have been 100% more confident than I ever have been. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I feel like, completely honest, I feel like my cuts have been coming out way more better. I feel like my like nostalgic, like everything has been surrounding, even in my personal home life, has been better. Like, you know what I mean? Everything has been better based on the choice that I've made to step out and do something different.
Come on. Well, look, bro. You know, I'll tell you this every day. We text person, whether we chopping it up on the phone, whatever.
Now, I ain't the best. Now, look, I'm not saying I'm the best barber in the world, but my skills do speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of barbers out here that's talented and good. But I will tell you this, though. I learn every day. And even though I'm surrounded with a supporting cast in the HAIRitage Barbershop, don't get me wrong, I pay attention to every single thing that goes on. So I'm watching every single body that's in there. And guess what? I'm learning every day.
You will. You certainly sound like you, you know, Lex, you know, made a decision to give you a high level of comfortability too, as well. You know, to get where you are. So that seemed like you did put you in that type of space too. And that your confidence level has grown, and that's all about, you know, making the right decision as well too.
Right.
Am I right or not wrong?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Hey, where you work at, where you cut at does speak a lot, man. Remember what they say, man, you work, you feel good. I mean, you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good.
You perform well.
So,
yeah. So, and you know, and I always say this, you know, D, Elijah, Marichelle, Rodney, y'all know I always say this because I took this from D anyway. Okay. I come into these type of discussions and these conversations when I listen to you guys as therapy. Then that helps out a lot. You know, it lets me know I'm doing the right thing too, or what I could be doing better, to better myself and better my community too. So just to let you know that, Lex.
Yeah. Appreciate
That's
that.
dope, bro. You linked up with two of the people who I also revere in this industry, who understands that it's more than the talent and the art of us being able to cut hair. It's the connection with the people. It's the connection to, it's the accountability of ourselves to know that we got to be in the dope space because we have a task to now pour into our clients, our community. So if we don't do that work, and if we're not in an environment to where we can perform our task and do it healthily, then it's going to have a negative domino effect. I'm proud of you, bro. And I look forward to what you're about to create over there at HAIRitage, because I mean, look, you're in a tangible space with two OGs who are, they're fourth generation barbers. So you got to think they've been about this life. They've been having the history, especially in that community. They've been having the connection. So for me, it was urgently like a need for me to get you in that environment because I rock with you as a brother. Yes, we do the same art, but I think once we start taking out the division in our industry, we can start working on the unification. But a lot of that has to start with accountability of self, and by you doing so, you looked at your situation, seen where you wanted to be, and aligned yourself.
Yeah, and then we gotta take out like we also gotta take out in the barber industry is like I'm the best barber. I'm being the best barber. But at the end of the day, what I learned, man, from cutting hair for so many years, it's not necessarily about being the best barber. You know what it's about? Preference and choice.
I tell people I'm an okay barber, but I'm a dope person.
Choice.
I'm an okay barber, but I'm
some people like what they like. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
You got to go through that, man. Well, I'm grateful for you, bro, and I'm thankful that you on here. Hopefully, now with you being under the roof, you can be a part of the whole get down.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
You in the best seat in the house, bro. Over there, HAIRitage OGs that come through, and they got some game. They got some real ism, baby. I'm messing with it. Ain't that right, Rod? Look at Rod.
Hey, I do.
Okay, I thought he had froze up there for a minute. Okay.
Staring because I've been listening, man, and it really melts my heart, like really on some real stuff. Because when me and Marichelle, when we sit down and we discuss certain issues, certain business, or what we plan on doing, what we want to do, and how it fits into everybody else's, believe it or not, we look into everybody else's personality. We look into their schedules. We look into the type of persons that they are. So we're just not chopping it up and just doing business with anybody. We're doing business with those that seem like they're professional, those that want to exceed, and those that support each other. And that's the main thing that we look at, is that can we conjure in a room and support each other? When we say join the circle, this circle is this big, right? But then there's a circle outside of that circle. So right now we're sitting in a circle within a circle. But at the same time, I want to thank every individual one that's on here, because since day one of us starting what we've been doing with the HAIRitage Sports Talk, HAIRitage Barbershop, just the new vibe has been rocking. And for everybody to want to be accountable for themselves and what we do right and what we doing wrong, I appreciate you guys. I know I'm speaking for Marichelle also. We truly appreciate each and every one of you, because none of this would happen with none of y'all. So therefore, Tone, you got any last words before we get out of here?
Yeah, UC Davis, they play the University of Baylor, the men's side of it, tonight in Texas. They done lost their last 4 road games, so let's see what they can do against the Baylor. The Baylor Bears? Before they come back to California and stuff like that. Mike Bibby is doing the best that he can. This is his first season. I'm definitely going to support him. In that regard, they did lose to the University of Pacific on Saturday, 68-54. That was a really close game. Now, Pacific's supposed to be much better than that. So I'm glad about the outcome in that, even though that the Hornets did not win. The women basketball team, they lost to overtime to UC Davis last Monday, and they will host Pacific on December 4th. So that's what's happening with the Women Hornet and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give a little update before we fade up out of here. But thanks again for listening to another update on the Sacramento State University athletic program.
Yes, sir. Each and every time. Elijah, we ain't heard from you in a hot second. What's your last words before we get out of here, my brother?
Last words for it. Actually, I am actually going to be selling some photography this weekend. I'll be at the Elks Lodge number 6 on the corner of Florin Road and Riverside. My wife will be out there doing some of her custom engraving and carving. So we'll be doing a bunch of that. I'll be dressed to the nines, and I'll be there to go ahead and support you. Come say hi, and you'll see a little bit of my art that's going to be out.
Hey, what date and time is that, Elijah? What date and time is that?
That's going to be Sunday, the 7th, I think it is.
The 7th.
Yeah, Sunday
December 7th.
Sunday is December 7th. We'll be right at, and that's going to be at the Elks Lodge number 6 on Riverside and Florin Road.
And what the times are?
I think it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Right on.
So you guys get an opportunity. Make sure that you can make it out that way. Speed. Anything?
Man, I ain't got. Oh no, I do. I got domino night. Let me do it. Let me let Charles tell you about it though.
Listen, let me tell you something. Look. It's white thing.
Grow up, bro.
Black dots, put them together, connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? And we got cards. See, the domino and the card, it go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? Every other Tuesday at Henry's Lounge. Go ahead, hit up DSpeed the Barber. I give all the info. Remember, peanut butter and jelly and dominoes, they go together like Sprite and pancakes.
Sprite and pancakes.
Right.
I thought we were talking about dominoes, man. What you? Sprite and pancakes. I'm cool. No, Sprite and pancakes and syrup. What you talking about, Charles?
Domino night at Henry's that we doing tomorrow night, and then it'll be every other day after that. Holla at me, hit me up in the IG, DSpeed the Barber. I'll give you the info. That's all I got.
All right, for sure. So there's domino night tomorrow. Starting at 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock.
If anybody want to get whooped on,
10th and 0. I mean, 10th and 19th and 0 here in Sacramento, California at Henry's. Lex, any last word to the people before we get off this live?
Man, I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's on Sports Talk, the Brown Brothers, DSpeed, Elijah, Mr. Harvey. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for the questions. And it was a good experience. And definitely want to be back for more.
Oh, yeah. You got to come back, bro. Got to come back. Just fam now. At least in this space.
Yes, sir.
Definitely in this space. You fam now. Appreciate you talking. You being quite open about everything about what's going on with you and, and being involved with the community as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Appreciate it.
One-handed, one fingertip.
Oh, we
Ball to
didn't.
stop that thing. Hold off the defense.
That was a hell of a catch. We almost forgot to talk about that. Oh,
I'm glad you played that.
was that Treylon Burks?
Classic. One-handed, one fingertip over the edge of the ball to stop that thing. Hold off the defense.
I'm telling you, that is so reminiscent of Odell Beckham Jr., man, right
I was
there.
just going to say that. I'm just going to say it, T-Hawk. That's reminiscent right there, boy.
Mm-hmm. Man, that was a hell of a catch. And it was clean, too. Clean. I like to see little circus acts like that, too. You don't get to see that. As a matter of fact, Odell Beckham probably caught a couple of them like that. He just catch like one. That was pretty much his signature and stuff. But with Treylon Burks, right on to you, man. He was focused. He was concentrating on that.
Off
Yes, sir.
it looked good, like a peanut butter and jelly.
With Sprite and pancakes and syrup.
Like Sprite and pancakes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is HAIRitage Sports Talk. We talk about everything on the inside and definitely everything in the cut. We listen to the rumors, but we only here to speak the truth and talk the facts. We'll catch you like that catch that Treylon Burks did. We'll catch you on the next HAIRitage Sports Talk. That one-hander. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you share it with your friends, because if you don't, it don't make sense, right? Let's go.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, loved ones, nothing but love, self-love.
Nothing but love. Peace.